Hi, I'm Vicky. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me today here on the Feather and Flow Yoga YouTube channel. Today's practice is a vinyasa flow with a focus on building strength through the glutes. So building strength in this area of the body is really important because the glutes help to protect the low back, to protect the hips and the knees, and also to stabilize the pelvis. So I want to get started today in a supine position, lying down on your mat with the knees bent. So take your time to lie down on your mat, bringing the heels of your feet in close towards your pelvis. Feet are about hip distance apart. Knees are in line with the ankles. Hands can just rest on the belly here. Go ahead and close the eyes. Take a big breath in through the nose. Fill the lungs all the way up with air. When you get to that top of the breath, see if you can take in just one more little sip of air. When you're ready, open the mouth. Let it all go with a big sigh. Empty out the lungs. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in through the nose, filling all the way up to the top, and then taking in just one more drop of air. And then part the mouth, let it all go. Big sigh. See if you can empty out every last drop of air. Breathing now in and out through just the nose. Tuning in to the sound of your breath, to the movement of your belly, rising and falling with each breath. Seeing if you can make inhales and exhales equal in length. Giving yourself permission to let go of whatever else is happening in your world today. Just be fully present. Letting your thoughts just fizzle to the background for now. And take a moment now to set yourself an intention for your practice. So just a short positive praise, something that you want to bring to your practice, or maybe even into your whole day. Go ahead and say that to yourself now. And then when you're ready, blink open the eyes. Bring your hands down by your sides. Lift all 10 toes up, spread them wide, set them down. And begin to press evenly into the whole of your feet until your hips lift up. When you get to the top, squeeze the glutes, but also continue pressing evenly into the feet to activate your hamstrings. And then begin to lower the hips down almost to the mat, so they almost touch. And then slowly lift up again. We'll move like this for a few more times, lowering all the way, almost all the way, and then lifting up again. Squeeze at the top. So take it slow. Controlled movements here. Let's do one more each way, lowering down slowly, lifting back up to the top, and then hold at the top. Squeeze your glutes, and we'll hold here for 10, 9, keep your knees in line with your ankles, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently lower down. When your hips touch the mat, bring your knees in towards your chest. Use your right hand to gently guide the knees over to the right, coming into a gentle twist. It might feel good to open out your left arm to the left and turn your head to look out over that left shoulder. And then scoop the knees back into the chest and take them over to the left this time. Option to open out your right arm to the right and look out over your right shoulder. Bring it back to the center, cross the ankles and rise up to a seated position on your mat. I'll turn so that you can see me. Bring your right hand down to the right. I'm going to mirror you here. So your right hand comes down. As you breathe in, lift your left hand up. And as you exhale, reach out to your right. So you're getting a side body stretch here. And just lightly push into your right hand that's down on the ground, just to keep the hips both connected to your mat. So try not to let the left hip lift. It might feel good for you to turn your head to look out under your left arm, breathing space here into the whole left side body. And then float the fingers down, placing your left hand down on the mat this time. As you breathe in, reach up with your right hand. And as you exhale, reach over to the left. Getting as long as you can from your right hip to your right fingertips. And then float the fingers back down. Roll over the knees, come into a tabletop position now. All fours, wrists, elbows and shoulders stacked in one long line. Fingers are spread wide, knees are hip distance apart. And we'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, lower the belly, lift the tailbone, look up. Exhale, push the mat away, tuck your tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, the belly lowers, tailbone and your heart lift. Exhale, round the back a whole lot. One more each way, inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. Bring it back to neutral. Engage your core and then step your right foot back behind you. Spread the toes, getting as long as you can with that right leg. Engage your core here and then begin to draw some circles with the right leg. Letting your right glutes do all the work here. The movement comes from that area of the body. Slow and controlled circles. And then change direction. Bring the leg back to stillness. Take a big breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, bring your right knee to right tricep. Inhale, extend. Exhale, right knee to left tricep. Inhale, extend. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, extend, and exhale, set the right knee down. We'll take it to the left side. So when you're ready, extending your left leg out long, spread the toes, engage your core, and then begin with those circles. And change direction. Bring the leg back to stillness. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee towards nose. Inhale, extend, exhale, set the knee down, and then lift the knees and the hips, take downward facing dog. Allowing yourself to ease into the pose, so make any movements here that feel good before coming into stillness. Making sure that your fingers are spread nice and wide, push the mat away, breathe. As you inhale, lift your right leg high, spread the toes. And as you exhale, we'll take a downward facing dog variation with the right toes on the outside edge of your left foot. So you're crossing the legs here. Push the mat away, breathe into the left hamstring. And on your next inhale, come back to three-legged dog. And exhale, step the right foot forwards to the front of your mat, lower the left knee. And lift your right arm, open your heart, look up. Take a twist, and you can choose to stay here or to lift the left foot and reach back with your right hand. Maybe the two connect, maybe they don't, no big deal. If they do, it might feel good to gently draw the left heel in towards the left glute, getting a quadriceps stretch here. Gently release, float the right hand down, take downward facing dog. And as you inhale, lift your left leg high, spread the toes. And exhale, coming into that cross-legged variation with the left toes on the outside edge of your right foot. Breathe here, push the mat away, keep the hips lifted high. And inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot through to the front of the mat, lower your right knee. Inhale, the left arm reaches up, look up at your thumb. And you can choose to stay here or to reach back for your right foot, drawing the heel in towards the glutes. So no worries if the two don't connect. If you keep reaching the hand towards the foot, over time you may find they do eventually touch. Release the shape, float your left hand down, step back, downward facing dog, and we'll pause here for just a few breaths. And then bend the knees deeply, look between the thumbs as you walk, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, shoulder blades draw towards one another. Exhale, forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, rise all the way up, circle the arms overhead, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. From here, sit low for chair pose. So your weight is back, mostly in the heels. Your spine is neutral and long. Breathe here. So be sure not to let the ribs flare open, which in turn causes an arch through the back. We don't want that. Keep those lower ribs tucked down. Breathe here. And you can choose to stay here in your chair pose, or for an added challenge, rise up onto the tiptoes. Breathe. Gently lower the heels down. And we'll do that 2 more times. Rise up onto the tiptoes, hold. Lower down. Last time, rise onto the tiptoes and hold. Lower down. And as you inhale, rise up, look up at your thumbs as you reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Find your drishti out in front of you, somewhere to gaze that's not moving. Engage your core as you shift your weight onto your left leg and use that core strength to lift your right knee towards your chest. Spread the right toes and then slowly send the right foot back to warrior 3. So you're making the shape of a capital letter T here, kicking out through the right foot. Right toes point down to the mat to keep those hips even. Breathe. Begin to slowly bend the left leg as you step back to a crescent lunge. As you inhale, the arms reach up overhead. As you exhale, bend the right knee, lowering it almost to the ground, and then inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Last one here, lowering down. And then as you inhale, step to the front of the mat, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Finding your drishti again. Spread the right toes. Slowly bring it back to warrior 3. And then from here, float your left fingertips down to the mat, just the fingertips. Now it may feel good to have a block here for a little bit of added height. And we're coming into half moon pose. So begin to turn to the right as you stack your right hip over your left hip, keeping a micro bend through the left leg. And really kick out through your right heel. So you're keeping the energy flowing and you're turning your right toes out towards the right. You can keep your right hand on your hip, or you can begin to lift the hand up to the sky, trying to stack your shoulders as well as your hips. Breathe here. Option to stay here or to come into sugarcane pose, bending the right leg, taking hold of the foot with your right hand. Gently bring it back to half moon pose. And then slowly step back to warrior 2. So your hips are even, your right foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat, left knee is bent. Open your arms out, gaze out over your left middle finger. As you inhale, flip the left hand, reverse your warrior. Exhale, bring it back to warrior 2. And from here, cartwheel the hands down. Step back to a plank position and move through your vinyasa. Option to lower all the way down or to lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhaling for up dog or cobra. Exhaling downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Big sigh through the mouth. Bend the knees deeply. Walk, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, upward reaching, look up at the thumbs. Exhale, hands to the heart. Sit low here, take chair pose once more. Breathe. Option to rise onto the tiptoes or to stay with the heels down on the mat. If you're up on the tiptoes, lower down, we'll do that 2 more times. Rise up to the tiptoes, hold. Still sitting low here, lower down the heels. Last time, rise up to the tiptoes and lower down. Come to stand tall, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, hands to the heart center, beginning to shift your weight onto your right foot this time, using your core strength to lift the left knee towards the chest. Find your balance and then slowly with control, step through to warrior 3. Left toes point down to the mat. Breathe here. Kick out through the sole of your left foot. Step back, crescent lunge. Take your time, and then as you inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, left knee lowers. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Last time, exhale, lower. Inhale, come to stand at the top of your mat. Left knee hugs into the chest. Breathe. Spread the left toes. Find your drishti. When you're ready, step through to warrior 3 one last time. Left toes point down to the mat when you get there. Breathe. Float your right fingers down to the ground or to your block. Come into half moon pose. Left toes point out to the left. Stack the hips. Turning to look out to the left side of your mat here. Option to extend the left arm up. Stacking the shoulders and the hips. And you can choose to stay here or to bend the left leg, come into sugar cane pose. Taking hold of the foot with the left hand. Gently release, come back to half moon, and then slowly step it back, warrior 2. So the left foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat this time. Open the arms out, look out over your right middle finger. Inhale, flip the right hand, reverse the warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. From here, bring both feet to face the left side of your mat, and then turn them slightly in, so you're very slightly pigeon-toed. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold forwards. Bring your hands down to your mat, shoulder distance apart, and point your elbows back behind you. So depending on how wide you're standing here, your head may reach the mat. No worries if it doesn't. Breathe here. On your next inhale, lift up halfway, straighten the arms, and then take hold of the big toes with your peace fingers. And exhale, forward fold, send your elbows out to the sides. Breathe here. Inhale, lift up halfway, straighten the arms, and take the hands to the outside edges of your feet. And exhale, fold, elbows still pointing out to the sides. Breathe. Bring your hands back to the mat, shoulder distance apart. Begin to bend the knees, lift up halfway, bring the hands to the hips, and slowly round all the way up to standing. Take your time. And then heel toe the feet so they are about hip distance apart. From here, bring your hands out in front of you. Rise onto the tiptoes. And if it's okay for your knees, begin to slowly lower all the way down, bending your knees. Take it slower than you want to go. Coming to sit down on your mat with your feet out in front of you. The knees are bent, feet are about halfway out in front of you, hip distance apart. Bring your hands halfway back with the fingers pointing towards your hips. Begin to press evenly into the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands to lift your hips up. Take a reverse tabletop. If it feels okay for the neck, you can let the head go back. Breathe here. Be really mindful. And gently lowering all the way down, nice and slowly and controlled. And you can choose to do the same thing again, or to take it a step further with an upward facing plank. So to do that, straighten the legs out, feet are hip distance apart, and begin to press into the heels of the feet to lift the hips, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Same thing, if it feels okay, you can let the head go back. Otherwise, just keep looking out in front of you. Squeeze the glutes. Breathe. Gently lower down. And then come to lie all the way down on your back. Hug the knees into your chest. You can choose to be still or to sway side to side. And then take happy baby pose, taking hold of the outside edges of the feet. Lift the feet up, flexing the feet gently, and drawing the knees in towards your armpits. And again, you can be still here or sway side to side. And if it's more accessible to take hold of the inner arches of the feet, that's just fine too. Release your happy baby. Extend your left leg long on the mat. Hug your right knee into the chest. And use your left hand to pull the leg up and over for a supine twist. Your right arm extends out to the right. Option to turn your head to look out over your right shoulder. Bring it back to the center. Extend your right leg out long on your mat. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Use your right hand to bring the leg up and over the body, twisting the other way. Gaze out over your left shoulder. Come back to neutral, extending both legs out long, taking the feet nice and wide, hands resting on the belly or off the mat with the palms facing up. Go ahead and close the eyes. Take a big breath in through the nose and a big sigh through the mouth. And as you exhale, just feel yourself melting into the mat, allowing yourself to relax here, just letting go. And simply just being here in this moment, soaking up all the good work that you just did. Feeling a sense of heaviness wash through your body from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. So we'll be here in Shavasana for just a few moments, and I'll let you know when the time is up. If you'd like to take a longer Shavasana, feel free to pause this video. Otherwise, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some small movements back to the body as you begin to deepen your breath. And when you're ready, slowly make your way back to a comfortable seat on your mat. Take your time, keep the eyes closed for now. When you get there, bring your hands to your heart. And take a moment here just to remind yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Maybe repeating it to yourself one more time. Seeing if you can bring it with you through the rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.